Let me guess, you've watched dozens of motivational videos. You've read the quotes, saved the reels, and maybe even bought a productivity planner or two. For a moment, you feel ready to change your life, but somehow, a few days later, it fades. You're back to square one, wondering, why can't I stay consistent? I've been there. And here's the truth. You don't need more motivation. What you need is a system that works even when you don't feel like showing up. In this video, I'll show you what finally helped me stop depending on motivation and start building a life of real momentum. A method rooted in discipline, systems, and identity. Stick with me. This might be the last motivation video you ever need. Why motivation fails us. Motivation is like a spark, bright, exciting, but temporary. It feels amazing when it's there, but it's unreliable. It depends on how you feel, what mood you're in, or if your day is going well. The problem is, most of life doesn't run on inspiration. It runs on routine. Success doesn't come from big emotional highs. It comes from showing up when it's hard, when it's boring, and when no one is watching. Think about it. Top athletes don't feel motivated every single morning. World-class writers don't feel inspired every time they sit down to write. What they do have is structure, repetition, commitment. That's what keeps them going. That's why the people we admire aren't the most motivated. They're the most disciplined. They have systems that make progress automatic, even on the days they'd rather stay in bed. Discipline versus motivation. Let's break it down. Motivation says, I feel like doing this. Discipline says, I'll do it anyway. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is logical. It relies on systems, not moods. If you rely on motivation, you'll only show up when it's convenient. But if you build discipline, you show up regardless. And that's where the magic happens. But here's the good news. Discipline isn't something you're born with. It's a skill you build. And it gets easier the more you do it. Discipline doesn't mean being harsh or rigid. It means designing your environment and habits in a way that makes the right choice the easy choice. Here's a quick example. If you want to read more, leave your book where you usually scroll on your phone. Want to eat healthier? Prep your meals in advance. It's about making discipline easier, not harder. Building systems that stick. Here's what worked for me. Small systems, not big goals. Instead of saying, I'll go to the gym 5 days a week, I started with, I'll put on my workout clothes every morning. That one action made it easier to actually follow through. Instead of writing a 5,000-word article, I committed to writing for just 10 minutes a day. That lowered the resistance. The key is to make the task so easy that doing it feels natural, not overwhelming. That's how systems work. They take the guesswork out of your day. They don't rely on you waking up in a good mood. They just rely on habit. Use what's called a trigger habit. One small action that starts the chain. Once the chain starts, momentum takes over. And the more you repeat the system, the less motivation you need. Eventually, you don't even think about it, you just do it. Designing your environment for success. Another game changer? changing my environment? If your phone is full of distractions, of course you won't focus. If your workspace is cluttered, of course you won't feel clear. I made small changes. Keeping my phone in another room while working. Laying out my journal and book the night before. Setting reminders for breaks and screen-free time. Your environment should work with your goals, not against them. Discipline becomes easier when you remove the friction. Don't rely on willpower when you can rely on setup. Also, surround yourself with people who live the kind of life you want. Energy is contagious, so make sure you're catching the right kind. Make it identity-based. Lastly, stop thinking of your habits as tasks. Start thinking of them as part of who you are. Instead of saying, I want to write more, say, I'm a writer. Instead of, I want to work out, say, I'm someone who takes care of my body. This might sound subtle, but it's powerful. Your brain likes to stay consistent with your identity. So if you believe you're a disciplined person, you'll start acting like one, even on hard days. When your habits become part of your identity, you don't have to push yourself every day. You simply act in alignment with who you believe you are. That's how change lasts. It doesn't come from forcing yourself. It comes from becoming yourself. So no, you don't need more motivation. You need systems. You need structure. You need a lifestyle that doesn't rely on fleeting feelings. Because the truth is, motivation might start the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. Start small, stay consistent, build systems that support who you want to become, and watch your life change one tiny habit at a time. If this helped you, like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who's waiting for motivation to show up. Maybe today is the day they realize they don't need more of it. They need this.